These are the 5.2 notes for Trig. We're going to be learning how to work with the unit circle. So please make sure that you have a unit circle with you. It should look something like this. Probably printed on a certain color paper, or it's attached to the very front of your note page. You can use the one that we filled in together. All right, so for problem number 1, we are asked to find the sine of 60 degrees. Anytime you see sine, they are telling you that they want the y value at that location. Anytime they ask for cosine, they want the x value. So when we go to 60 degrees, you can see that's right here. And then you have, for each one, you have the x, the y, and then this one right here is the tangent. So the first number in the ordered pair is the x, the second one is the y, and the third one is tangent. They're asking us for sine. Sine is y, so we want to give them that answer, square root of 3 over 2. Then cosine of 135. So go to 135. It's over here. You have your x, which is what we're looking for cosine. You have your y, which is sine. And then again, this outside number is tangent. So cosine is going to be your x, negative radical 2 over 2. Again, sine is y, cosine is x. Cosine of 270, again, the x location, x value at 270. 270 is down at the bottom of your unit circle. And the x is going to be 0. So we just write down 0. Problem 4, the sine of 210. Go to your unit circle. Find the value 210. Here it is. And again, sine is y. So there's our y value, the second number in that parenthesis, negative 1/2. And then the next two are just in radian form. But remember, radians and degrees, they're just this two different ways of measuring angles. So as you notice on each one, you'll have a degree, a radian, and then the 3 values on the outside. The degree, the radian, and then 3 values on the outside. So when they ask for 7 pi over 4, let's go ahead and find that. Way down here in quadrant 4. They're not asking us to write down 315. They're asking us to still write the cosine value. Cosine value, here's the x. This is going to be our cosine value. Square root of 2 over 2. And then the last one, sine of pi. Pi is right here. Sine is the y value. So remember, it goes x, y, tangent. So because they're asking for sine, they're asking for this y value right there, 0. Okay, for the next part, they're going to talk about tangent. And tangent can be found by doing the letter y divided by the letter x. It's also the outside values, And thankfully, we had enough room on our unit circle that we can actually put the answers on there, so you don't have to do this y over x every time. Let's take a look at your unit circle. These values on the outside, for example, the 0, radical 3 over 3, 1, radical 3, undefined, all of these are your tangent values. And we got those answers by taking the y value and dividing it by the x value on each one. So we're just going to do one of those to show you how those numbers actually came to be. And then the rest of the time, we're just going to use the value that's printed there because they've already done the work for us. All right, so example number 7, tangent of 30 degrees. So if you look at the y value at 30 degrees, this one, 1/2. And then we look at the x value at 30 degrees, square root of 3/2. And I didn't put them one on top of each other. I wrote them more like y divided by x, just because they're already both fractions. Then in order to divide fractions, we flip the second one and multiply, which gets us 2/2 radical 3. The 2's cancel. Get us 1 radical 3. And then we have to rationalize the denominator. I know this is a lengthy process, but remember, we don't have to do it for every problem because square root of 3/3, that answer, is right there for us. They've put the answer on there for tangent. So you don't have to do that process every time. You just have to look at your unit circle and find that outside value for tangent. So let's do the rest by just looking at the outside value. Tangent of pi/4. Erase a little bit of this stuff. Tangent of pi/4. Let's find pi/4. Here it is. And remember which one's tangent? That one right there is the tangent. So we just write the answer of 1. And notice how much time that saved us. They've already done all the work for us. We can just write down the answers. Tangent of 60 degrees. Right here, there's my answer for tangent, radical 3. No need to do all that work that we did the first time because it's already been done for us. And tangent of, what's that last one? 0 degrees. Sorry, pi/2. No, 0 degrees, sorry. Tangent of 0 degrees would be 0, right there. And then for problem number 11, tangent of pi/2. Let's take a look at pi/2. Way up here at the top. And that's our tangent value, UND. UND stands for undefined. And the reason that happens, if you think about the y value, 1, divided by the x value, 0, you're not allowed to divide by 0 in math, and that's what creates that answer of undefined. So you can't divide by 0. All right, for the next set of things, for cosecant, secant, and cotangent, we're going to take each of these, and since it's the reciprocal of sine, cosine, and tangent, we're actually just going to flip the fraction over. So for cosecant, we're going to flip the y value. For secant, we're going to flip the x value. And for cotangent, we are going to flip the tangent value. Example 12. Find the cosecant of 60 degrees. 60 degrees. Looks like it is here. And they want us to find cosecant. Cosecant means flip the y. So go to the y value right here, and we're going to flip it upside down. 2/√3. Now remember, anytime you end up with a square root in the denominator, you need to fix it up. In other words, rationalize the denominator. Multiply by the radical over the radical. 2√3/3. Remember, the radical 3 come together to make square root of 9. Square root of 9 is 3. And there's your final answer. All right, secant of pi. So we're going to flip the x value at pi. So let's go to pi over here. There's pi. We're going to look at the x value, and we're going to flip it. So anytime you have a whole number, remember, you can always make it a fraction by putting a 1 underneath it. And I like to do that because now I can actually have two numbers to flip. So I end up with 1/-1. And that's pretty easy. That just divides out to be a final answer of -1. Example 14, cotangent of 7 pi/6. All right. Let's find 7 pi/6 here. 7 pi over 6 right there. That means that value is the tangent. We want cotangent, so we need to flip it. 3 over square root of 3. Again, that's not an okay answer. We'll need to multiply by the radical over itself. To get 3 radical 3 over, and again, 3 times 3, that makes the 9. Square root that to make 3. And look, you can see that those 3's cancel out, leaving you just an answer of square root of 3. For example, 15, cosecant of 5 pi over 4. Zoom out a little bit. Here's our 5 pi over 4 right down in the corner again. Again, we're doing cosecant. Cosecant is flip the y value. So let's take this y value right here and flip it. 2 over negative square root of 2. And anytime I have a negative, I always go ahead and leave it in the front. It makes the rest of the math a little bit easier to do. We'll fix it up, rationalize the denominator. And that negative, I know I put it up towards the top, but you can even leave it out in front if you'd like. As long as it's on there somewhere, it's correct. Those 2's can cancel out, and your final answer, negative square root of 2. Now at the bottom, I want to make sure that we write a summary because this is important. People always forget this. For sine, cosine, and tangent, the answers are on the unit circle. All you have to do is look at the unit circle. Sine, cosine, and tangent, the answers are on the unit circle. For the other 3, cosecant, secant, and cotangent, flip to get the answers. All you got to do is flip that fraction over to get your answers.